Target acquired. Destroy. Destroy. Destroy.
Okay, everyone, welcome back. This is segment 2 of the Hate Live podcast for January 16th, 2014. This is officially the call-in segment. So how we're going to do this is I'm about to get my headphones on, and we're going to be accepting calls here live on Skype. As of right now, I'm going to switch over to my dual setup screen. Here we are. And I'm going to try to be taking live calls. So go right ahead. If you guys want to shoot me a call, try to call me on there. And we'll see what people want to talk about tonight. Could be about anything. Could be about what's going on the show, what kind of content I'm going to be putting up soon, any of the hot topics that we just talked about. And I have no idea how to do it, so I'm just going to wait and see if anything pops up. Here we go. Aha! Hello.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Not much. I'm actually at work right now, but I wanted to shoot you a couple of questions.
Cool. All right, hold on one second. Let me get your logo up here. So everyone knows this is Gamer J. Lee. Jordan, who I met at...
I'll put up my logo instead of my camera since I'm at work.
Right, yeah, no problem. Here we go. Yes, I actually met him at SGC 2013, and really cool guy. I've been talking with him, basically kind of helping him along with certain things on YouTube and Twitch over the course of the past year. And just recently, last week, I did a short interview with him over on his YouTube channel. So what's going on, man?
Well, not much, but I have something to say to the DSP community. Me and Chewbacca have been working on a special project, and we wanted to ask you permissions on something.
Okay, like what?
Well, me and Chewbacca, we know that this community means a lot to us, and we care about a lot of the people that do this. So, me and Chewbacca are working on a secret project. I'm not going to spoil it, but we're going to need the DSP community's help. And if you are interested in being a part of this, please message me or Chewbacca, and we will tell you details about what we need from you. Now, we would love to premiere this on the stream, if it's okay with you.
Okay, I mean, obviously I would say yes, but obviously I'd like to see what it is first as well before we decide what we're going to do with it.
Of course. Of course. With your permission.
Okay.
So, yeah, we would love to run it by you and see if we could premiere it when it's ready. But my main question is I remember a while back you were talking about, someday starting your own small business. And I work at my family's local business. So if you had the choice to start up your own business and, say it could be anything, what would it be?
Well, I've actually talked this out with my girlfriend Panda Lee many different times, and we've had many different ideas. Ideally, first of all, the first portion to answer that is if I want to start my own business, I want it to be mine. And when I say there is, I don't want it to be, say, a franchise. I wouldn't want to open up a Subway sandwich shop or, a McDonald's. Because unfortunately what happens with those businesses is even though you own them and they're franchised, you end up losing all control over the business. The business has to look a certain way. You have to have this on your menu. You have to do this promotion. And ultimately, it doesn't feel like your business.
I hate to interrupt you.
Okay.
But I gotta go.
Really?
Close up. But
okay.
Continue on, and I'll make sure to listen in.
All right. Very good.
All right. Bye-bye.
No problem. So he had to take off. No problem there. Let me actually get rid of the screen region. So to answer the question, actually let me move myself to the center here until we get another caller. To answer the question, I want a business where I could have creative control. That's one of the huge things that I've loved about having this YouTube career and now Twitch TV career is that I have creative control over what I'm doing. I'm not limited to what anyone tells me to say or do. So I've had some ideas I've thrown around in my head. Local businesses, maybe a small restaurant, maybe even a coffee shop, cafe / kind of place where people could come in and get a cup of coffee, get a fresh baked bagel or pastry, sit down, have the Wi-Fi going and do stuff like that. I don't know. That's just, one of many ideas. I really haven't really realistically thought seriously about it yet, simply because I don't know where I'm going to end up. As I said, this year my goal is to move somewhere outside of Connecticut. Depending on where I am, a different business may prosper better in that location versus another one. You know, if I move to, say, Seattle, well, there's 5 zillion coffee houses there already. It's probably not a good idea to try to open up my own independent one unless I have some kind of a creative spin on it that would attract a different kind of clientele. If I move to Texas, I probably don't want to open a barbecue rib shop because there's probably going to be 5,000 other ones that are better than me. But at the same time, again, if you could find a creative competitive advantage, maybe it makes sense. I don't know, and I'm not just saying I'm going to do food necessarily. I know that's what I'm mentioning, but I have not been able to reach that step where you get to think and then execute on it because I don't know where I'm going to end up. So I think really, realistically, once I find out where I'm moving, I'm there, I'm settled, and I kind of see what the community's like, then maybe I can begin to say, gee, this is the kind of thing that I want to do after doing YouTube full-time as like its own business, okay? All right, so there's your answer. We've got 5 billion people calling in. I'm not even kidding. There's like 5 billion people calling in. There's so many people calling in right now. My computer screen is lit up like a Christmas tree with calls. So I don't even know what one to click here. I've got about 5, 6, 7 people all calling. Oh, I can't even see. Hold on. All right, I'm going to randomly answer one. I don't know anything about this. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Hello.
Oh, hello. Hold up, Mike. Shaky.
Okay. Oh, don't be shaky. Come on, man.
All right. Hold up. Let me pause the stream. It's
Yep.
I'm hearing.
No problem.
There we go.
All right, sir. So who am I speaking to right now?
Oh, my name is Kyle Crone.
Kyle, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
Good. Let me get something. I actually have a prop I want to use.
Okay. I was gonna say, look at this amazing icon that you have here. You may want to do something different.
Yeah.
Should I accept this thing here? It's a request, I guess, for video or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens if I try this. Whoa, there we go. Whoa, now it's way too zoomed in. Hold on a second. I can fix that. Hold on.
All right.
We can do a different screen region here. Try to get more of you to fit in there. There we go. That's much better. And as people can see, look at the number of people who are calling here on the left-hand side. Those are all people trying to call in on the side of his head there. I guess I'll have to try to resize it later. Right now, I can't really do much about that. All right, sir. So what do you got there that you want to show us?
It is called. I was going to ask what your opinion was on building computers because I am very good at it, and I know I know how all this stuff works, and it's actually pretty cheap if you go to like a local computer store, like we have one here. It's called DIT Computers, and they're generally a lot cheaper. The home built ones are generally a lot cheaper than stuff like Geek Squad. Like I went to go get my computers there fixed, and it was well, basically I spilled coffee all over this, and it melted and it burned and crashed, and I'm using my laptop, which is real shitty, and it likes to turn off, which I hope it doesn't do. But basically what I was asking is if you ever had anyone like build you a computer, I wouldn't have me build you one because I'm not very experienced and I'd probably fuck it up. So if you were going to say, instead of having to buy one at Best Buy, I would recommend going to your local computer store that you can actually go there and tell them what you want. Say, for example, you're going to do editing. You can go ask them, I want this certain type of RAM, and I want RAM that'll do video editing, and they'll say something like, you can get RAM at 2,666 megahertz, and they'll figure that all out for you.
Right.
And you can get it set up and different things. I would suggest getting 2x8, which means it's 2 sticks of 8 gigabyte, which is actually at a 266 megabytes per second. That's very fast.
Well, you're absolutely right. When it comes to PCs, and I know this from experience, building your own computer, number one, is going to be a lot less expensive than having a pre-built one. A lot of those pre-built ones, they ridiculously overprice them. Mostly because if you're buying a pre-built computer, a lot of those people don't even know what they're getting. You know, I went to the store, the guy told me this is a good computer, so I'll just buy it. They don't know if they're actually getting value out of what they're paying for that computer. For some people, they do it for ease of use. You know, for someone who's not so tech savvy, maybe it makes sense to go to the store and buy a pre-built computer. But for someone who's going to be tech savvy, or if you're someone who likes to learn, it's actually not that hard to build your own computers. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done so in the past. There was actually a good chunk of maybe 4 or 5 years where my hobby was building PCs. And at one point, I had 2 custom-built gaming rigs at my parents' house that were LANed together. One was like across the hallway from the other. And my friends would come over and we'd play things like Unreal Tournament over the internet, you know, from 2 different rooms. And it's very rewarding if you pick and choose the equipment that you want and to see it come together. It's like your creation. It's like you're Frankenstein and you're making your own monster. And then when you get to play that high-end game, you're like, wow, this is awesome. It's really well, you know, the outcome was really well done. But it's actually, for me and my personal experience, has been a double-edged sword because I've told this story before. But what happened to me was I went away on a vacation. It wasn't really a vacation. It was me going to play Street Fighter again. But that's neither here nor there. And I left. Those 2 gaming PCs were at my parents' house. And I came back, and they said, Phil, we got real bad news for you. I said, what happened? We had a lightning storm when you were gone. A lightning bolt hit the telephone pole next to the house, and even everything that was plugged into surge protectors was destroyed. So in that one storm alone, I lost an entire one of the gaming PCs. I lost a VGA VGA upscaling box device for my Dreamcast, which cost several $100s. I lost a cable box. I lost a VCR/DVD player. I probably lost, all in all, when you add up the value of all the electronics, probably about $4,000 worth of electronics were destroyed because of this lightning bolt. And I was so pissed off that since then, I literally have been like, it took too much time, too much effort, too much blood, sweat, and tears for me to build these things and then have them die like that. I'd rather, I mean, and now this is just me, but I'm so out of the loop when it comes to building PCs. At this point in my life, I'd rather just go and pay more to get something that I know is guaranteed to work because it has a warranty for a certain amount of time. Not that I built it wrong and then, you know, something goes wrong. But that's just me. I can completely understand why if you're tech savvy, if you're the kind of person who likes to learn, it's actually not very hard to build computers once you learn the basics, the RAM, the motherboard, the processor, the heat sink, this and that graphics card. You know, once you learn the basics, it's a very rewarding experience. And, you know, I actually do. I agree with you, Kyle. I think I recommend it. If you are young and you were willing to learn, it's definitely worth it to try to build your own. If you're going to go buy one in a store, at least try to do some research or ask someone who knows about computers if you're getting a reasonable price for what you're buying. Because a lot of the times those things are overpriced for no reason just because they rely that the consumer doesn't know what they're actually getting. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I went to a Walmart. I work like 5 volunteer jobs. That's not a lie. I actually go to a transition program. But basically, I was asking a guy. I like to test people. It's kind of funny because I was like, okay, because HDMI cables. There's 2 types, version 1.0 and 2.0. Yep. 1.0 does not support 4K,
right?
And 2.0 does. And I went there and asked him, so will this cable support my PS4 to its fullest abilities? And I looked on the back and it said it was 1.0. Said, oh yeah, you can get all of it is out there. I'm like, do you know this thing is not 4K? And if I try to watch a 4K movie on the thing, although 4K is not there yet, and it won't show in 4K. It'll only show in 1080p. Right. And he's like, oh, and then he went to some excuse like, oh, it's just that's just for laptops, and like you want to go look at this, and we don't have any 4K cables in stock.
That's the other thing you got to be wary about when you go to these stores is that a lot of these people, quite honestly, they're just kids. The kids who are in the store, they got a job there, they didn't get sufficient training, they're bullshitting their way through the answers, and a lot of times they don't even have the answers for you. So you really have to be careful when you're going to a retail store to buy anything to make sure that you are educating yourself beforehand or before you drop money. You could have went and spent $50 on an HDMI cable, go home, it doesn't work, then you go back, oh well, you opened it, we're not taking it back. And you're like...
Oh yeah, the funny thing is when I work at Walmart, I have to put shit away on the counters and like stuff. When I go there, I always buy these things. As you can see, I got like 500 of them in the background. They're Transformer toys. I'm obsessed with that. But it's like the shit they want me to put away. I'm like holding this toy, and it's like it's a computer part, and I'm like the thing's halfway open. It's missing half the parts, and I had to put it back like 5 times.
All right, well, Kyle, I want to thank you for your call. I'm going to let you go, get some other people's chance to jump in here, but you made it. You were caller number 2, so thanks for calling, and I'll talk to you later. All right, buddy?
All right, thanks. I've been a long-time fan, 5 years. That's first
awesome.
Followed.
Awesome. And now finally you can actually call me on the show. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, very good. Let me go ahead. Whoa. I just got a crazy pop-up message. I don't know what it means. I'm going to get rid of that. All right, here we go. I see many, many people calling in. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab... I can't really read any of the names because they're tiny. Let's go ahead and take this one. Boom. Hello. 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 All right, nobody there. Hang up on that one. All right, let's try a new one. Let us try this one. Hello. Hello? Uh-oh, don't tell me something's gone.
Oh.
Whoa.
Hello?
Oh, hello, yes.
Oh.
Who is this? Who am I speaking with?
Oh, this is Lady Gates 1-5.
Oh, hey, Lady Gates. I recognize your name.
I'm listening to the stream chat on my phone. I'm like, what? Oh, I'm scared. Sorry.
So how's it going tonight?
It was fine. I was just calling to say I've been a big fan of yours since God of War 3. I'm so happy that we're in this community. I've met some awesome people in the stream chat. So I'm like, So that's all I wanted to say. Keep it up, Phil. You're awesome. DSP positive. So.
All right, and hey, if my plans go the way that I want them to go, by the way, thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. This year, I mean, very shortly, very soon, I want to purchase the website, thekingofhate.com. I want to own that so that not only can you guys have a place to interact, say, in the stream chat, but you'll have a home where you can go talk on forums, you can have independent discussions about other stuff. It's real tough right now because that website has always been owned by a third party, and I've never been able to make it look how I wanted to. I've never been able to make it to have the functionality that I wanted it to have, and now I'm finally going to have that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this goes through within the next week or two. I'm still waiting on the website owner to respond to me and tell me when we're going to set up a Skype call so that we can figure out how to migrate all the stuff over. I actually already own the web space, but I think that would be a great opportunity for people like you who, you love interacting with people in the stream chat, but, when I'm not live streaming, you can even take it to the forums and talk about stuff there and to have cool, better contests and things going on constantly. So hopefully if everything goes, along according to plan, next few weeks we'll have that going. And I'll have more information on that when we get closer to it. So,
all right.
Anything else? Or that's it for tonight? Just kind of chilling.
Yeah, chilling.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, moving along here. Calls are working swimmingly. Let's see who we got. We got a ton of people. I'm still trying to see. Let's try this one. See if this works. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, who is this? Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Connor from Scotland.
Wow. Connor from Scotland is quite late there, isn't it?
It is exactly 17 minutes past 3 in the morning.
Holy crap, you are up very late.
Always am.
So what's going on?
I just like to say that, I've been following you since like 2009, and you've had a hell of a ride.
It's true.
You've been hated on. You've been up and down. You've had heavy rain highs, and you've had lows. But throughout it all, you've always kept this sort of positive standing, and I really got to say I appreciate that. You really helped me to deal with a lot of things in my own social life over the past a lot of years, and I want to thank you for being the most awesome person I've ever found on the internet and the most genuine guy that I'll ever see. So, thanks.
Well, that's high praise. I thank you very much for that compliment. And, it's like I've said, even though last year I openly admit I did get derailed a little bit with some negativity, worrying about what was going to happen if I were able to continue to do this, you got to stay positive. With all the negative shit around you, it's so easy to get overwhelmed by the negative, to say, look, 20 negative things happened to me in the past week. How am I supposed to move on when I got nothing positive to look forward to? But I guarantee you, no matter who you are, you can find something positive in your life that you can focus on. And it may not be the immediate thing, but eventually things are going to get better. And as long as you push forward with a positive attitude, you should be successful. Now, of course, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. Who knows where this crazy ride's going to go? I've been doing this since, 2008? doing it full time since late 2010. And you know, at a moment's notice, the nature of what I do, it could change. You know, what if with this new net neutrality law, my ISP all of a sudden limits me and says you can only use YouTube a certain amount a week or something? Who knows? But it's always been like that. But I do want to say thank you for supporting me, for being there for me, for watching the content, for sticking in there at times when it seems like a lot of people are teaming up against me or ganging up against me because they're trying to get their own personal gain, especially in 2013 when a lot of that happened. The people who stuck in there and are still standing by and watching my content and supporting me and sending me awesome messages, and people like you calling in and giving me these awesome positive messages, this is what keeps me going. You know, it's like I said in my Christmas special, I could have all this negativity going on, but as long as I know that I'm genuinely helping people with entertaining content, I'm not going to stop. So your positivity is letting me to go ahead, and my positivity is letting you go ahead, so it works out both ways.
We're a great team.
We are a great team, sir. So anything else, any questions or anything else you want to talk about tonight?
One thing about the Tim Schafer double fine thing.
Yes.
I'm on the same fence, because since you brought it up, I've been analysing it in my head back and forth. But it seems like both people are to blame, but I think Tim Schafer is a little bit worse, because he left it last minute, therefore the Let's Players retaliated and said, well, we're going to just upload it anyway. If they had said earlier on, they might have been like, well, that's been disclosed now, we shouldn't release it until the release date, you know?
Right. No, and I agree that the whole thing is with retail games, there's always an embargo date. You know that you can't upload, you can't stream, you can't do any of that until the game's released with a formal street date. It's just that this game, since it was so unique that it was a Kickstarter, is digital distribution, there technically was no street date for the game, and I think that's where all the controversy kind of came into play. If anything, I hope that future game developers who in the future are releasing their games digitally and they're giving advance copies to certain people for whatever reason, whether it's Kickstarter funded or not, that they have the foresight to think about that. Because you're right, if they had said day one in the Kickstarter, oh, well, you'll get an advance copy, but please know there'll be an embargo date, I don't think anyone would have had a leg to stand on when it came to complaining. But the fact that it wasn't brought up until literally hours before you got your code to play the game, that's really where the controversy came into play. So I agree with you there. I actually think you're correct.
Well, thank you, and I'll let you go and call some other people, but thanks very much for having me on, and I'm great that it's out of beta and everything I've said, and keep on going, man.
All right, thank you, sir, for the call. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Have a good night. All right, this segment is going well. I did not think it would go this well. The calls are working. We're having meaningful conversations. I can't believe it. All right, so now let's grab another caller who will probably flip that on his head and ruin everything. Here we go. Let's see. I'm trying to. I'm trying to take more people than names that I don't recognize, but I'm gonna take a couple people here that I do recognize. Here, let's see here. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Oh, wait a minute, it went away. Oh my God, you know what it is? So many people are calling. The calls keep overlapping each other before I even have a chance to click who I want to click. Let me turn off the screen region, by the way. Here we go. Shit. I can't even click on the... Here, maybe if I close some of these that are older, the new ones will appear. Yeah, it's working. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Sorry, if you called within the last couple seconds. I was going to answer and I couldn't pick up. It was like glitching out on me. All right, let's try this one. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hello,
This
sir.
worked.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, thank God for that.
Can
I
you-
was kind of worried because, like, as soon as you said, I just heard you say on the stream that apparently new calls are coming in, so I quickly just hung up and then called again.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
happening? There's so many people calling that the new call appears at the top of the screen, but immediately the next call overlaps it. But it was because my screen was filled, so once I clicked out all the other windows, they started appearing again, and that's how I saw your call pop up.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just sneaky like that. Just sneaky.
So how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. It's as our Scottish friend just said, about 20 past 3 in the morning.
Wow. Yeah, we just had two Scottish callers in one call.
Oh man, it's so good.
So what are you doing tonight? What's going on?
Well, I have work in about I don't know, 9 hours.
Oh,
no,
jeez.
not 8, no, 6 hours.
6 hours. 6 hours.
So I thought, you know, it's the return of Hate Live. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna enjoy the show. I'm gonna see that Cal dude was awesome. He had like an immense Transformers collection.
Yeah, did you see that? That was cool. That's why when I brought up the picture and it only had his head, I said, wait a minute, I got to get the background. So I had to redo it to show that. It was awesome.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to ask you about the whole net neutrality thing, because it's kind of interesting, because over in the UK we've had our own internet kind of like filter kind of thing.
Okay.
Where our prime minister is pushing for this filter to be applied to our internet, and basically is to try and protect the children from
wasn't it from porn? Yeah, I heard this. I heard this.
And shit.
Yeah.
But basically, they've made like every single ISP have these like levels of filters, and the only one you can't turn off is malware and like spyware and things like that.
Huh.
But it was hilarious because when they first did put these filters on, the filters were made like a separate company. They weren't the actual ISPs. The ISPs got this other company to put in this tech.
Okay.
And they ended up blocking like certain legitimate sites like Childline, which is like a charity for children suffering from abuse.
And see, that's what I mean. It's going to be, whenever you have censorship, it's a slippery slope. Because first of all, how far is too far? What's the stuff? Who's to say that this is what my child needs to be censored from? Who's to say that, you know, I don't judge as a parent that I think that my child's old enough to see this, but not this. But then you're going to have a situation like this where it's completely unintentional. What if with this net neutrality, they say, okay, we're going to put filters in here, here, and here. And then all of a sudden there's some completely unforeseen circumstance and no one can see a YouTube video. You know, like it just won't load or something.
Hey, here's this great YouTube video for victims of rape and how to deal with the consequences and the aftermath of rape.
Blocked.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing that's going to happen. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But it sucks what's happening because from what I've been reading on the net neutrality thing, like, you're going to get some really bad stuff. Like, I mean, you could easily get an ISP to like restrict, because the way I was made aware is that they can prioritize certain things. So some things might take longer to get through than others and things like that.
Right.
And so apparently, like, things like Netflix could get like more expensive.
Yes.
Because it needs more bandwidth to be able to be streamed and stuff like that. So basically, they're giving ISPs complete control over private companies and like what they're able to charge their customers, because it's not neutral the way it should be with a free internet.
You're absolutely right. And in fact, what's been rumored is what the attempt here is because so many of these streaming companies have come out, Hulu, Netflix, Vudu, whatever the hell they're called, that they're eating up the bandwidth of the internet. And what these ISPs now are going to do is, behind the scenes, they're going to go and say, hey, Netflix, you want to be able to keep having your business operate the way that it's been doing? You got to give us some money, or you got to pay some special prioritization or something so that your customers will keep getting your content the way that they've been getting it. And I mean, to be completely honest, it's been a Wild West. This past 10, 15 years where the internet's really been burgeoning and growing and changing has been the Wild West, because no one knew what to expect. Do you really think in the middle of the 1990s, when it took me 5 minutes to download one picture off of AOL, that I thought that in the year 2014, I'd be able to live stream a movie that's 1080p, high resolution live like this? Of course not. And I think that there wasn't really a lot of forethought or future thought when it came to technology and how it was going to advance, how it was going to affect these companies. So now, all of a sudden, the ISPs are saying, we're providing a tremendous amount of bandwidth, and we're paying what, $60, $80 a month, whatever they're charging people for the highest quality level of internet, and they're saying we can make a lot more. And that's really what this is an attempt at. It's a snatch and grab. Let's change the law so that people just don't have everything that they want, this all-you-can-eat kind of mentality with the internet, and we're going to regulate it. And you're right, it's scary. It's absolutely scary when it comes to entire businesses. Now, if that happens, what's going to happen to things like Netflix and Vudu? What if they don't want to pay, or they can't pay? So now their business goes out of business? And that's going to change a lot of stuff.
So it's an entire conspiracy. It's an entire conspiracy. I'm telling you, like, we're going to get down to the bottom of it. It's going to be like people like at the tops of like TV companies just gonna be sat there like, ha. They're gonna have like the entire internet on a switchboard. It's like Netflix go down,
Yes.
Hulu down.
Yes, our new popular TV show's on tonight. Flick off Netflix so that no one can watch Netflix. They'll turn on their TVs and watch the new show that's premiering, you know?
It sounds like a James Bond
What's
film.
this?
That does.
What's that? I just got a text. American Idol ratings are down. Turn everything off. All right, sir. Well, thank you for your call. I appreciate it. Probably going to get one or two more people in here tonight, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you. And, hey, future episodes, I'm planning on having segments of call-ins. They're not going to be, huge segments like I'm doing today, but I will hopefully, be able to hear from you in the future as well.
Definitely, sir.
And by the way, I want to thank you for everything you do for the community, too, between moderating and all kinds of stuff. I know you do a lot for me. I'm very appreciative of that, sir.
Oh, thank you very, very much. I appreciate those comments. And everyone in the stream chat is awesome.
There you go.
Especially everyone saying that I look like I'm 14 years old, you bastards.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. We'll probably try to squeeze one or two more people in here. Hold on. I'm going to close out all these windows again because, like I said, unfortunately what's happening is these windows that are open while I'm talking to people are taking up my whole screen, and I'm not seeing the new callers come in. Oh, let's see if we can get this one. Hello.
Hi.
Well, hey there. Who
Finally.
Who could this possibly be?
Thanks. I was only the first person that tried calling in. Thanks for ignoring me.
Well, I couldn't even see you because I have so many callers on my screen.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you don't believe me? I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. Because people don't believe me. Fine. Watch this. Ready? This is what I see on my screen right now. This.
Excuses.
This is my computer.
If you loved me, you would have seen me.
I can't
and you
see.
Me instantly,
I
and we
can't
would have
see
had
anything on the
riveting
computer.
You know what? I was going to get Howard Stern on here, and now I'm not going to. I'm going to call him and say, this show sucks. Don't ever come on. No interviews.
Well, that's
Lisa
messed
Ann,
up.
Done. Jenna Jameson, done.
That's messed up.
Now
Jenna Jameson, I don't want on the show. Come on. She looks horrible now. That's terrible. She barely looks human. It's like a skeleton. So, for those of you who don't know, though I'm sure there's very few people who don't know, this is my girlfriend, Leanna.
If anyone didn't figure it out by now, there's a serious, serious problem.
It looks like
someone's been under a rock for 2 years.
And it looks like Yara has gotten hold of some kind of a delicious treat.
I figured that was the only way you would know it was really me and not a troll, so I picked a really stupid picture and moved on.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I did see that picture. That's how I knew it was you, because there's so many things, so many people are popping up right now. It's absolutely nuts.
I wonder if there's going to be any trolls in the future, trying to impersonate people. Like Barack Obama's going to try to call in. It's gonna
of
be
course.
In the bikini.
This is Barack Obama, and I'm calling in to say that you are a disgrace to the American people.
If this ISP thing works out, if you don't take one of their calls, they might shut your stream down.
Yeah, I know. All right, so anything in particular you want to talk about?
Well, I think with this ISP thing, I don't think it's going to go down. If Sopa and Pippa didn't stand a chance, I really don't think this will happen, simply because no matter what your opinion is on YouTube, what your opinion is on streaming games, video games, there are 3 things you don't mess with. Porn, illegal downloading of movies, and illegal downloading of music. You do not mess with those things. That will get every American up in arms if they do anything to tamper with that. Especially if they're trying to do multiple things at once, like downloading music while they're downloading the last season of Breaking Bad while watching Lisa Ann.
There you go.
I don't know. That was the only one I knew, so I just picked a porn star.
Well, I think where the real concern here is that, unlike with Sopa and Pippa, where it was a law that was being, say, drawn up by the American government, this is actually 3 federal judges who have ruled on an existing case. So there's already laws in place.
Nobody takes the federal judges seriously anymore. Have you seen the quotes from Anthony Scalia?
Well,
Jesus,
I'm just saying, regardless of what this event basically is going to turn into, it seems to be more serious than the Sopa and Pippa, because that was more developmental stages. There's already a law in place, and these judges have made a ruling on this, basically saying, no, it's not what you think it is. Net neutrality doesn't exist. So that's why people are so afraid. Whether or not it'll actually be implemented the way that people are alluding to remains to be seen.
Well, there's also a law that says you can't tie a giraffe to a telephone pole in Georgia, but I don't see any cops giving out tickets if someone were to do it. So,
well, maybe we're just going to have to put that to the test this year in our travels. We'll tie some animals up and we'll see what happens. I think it was just one. You can't walk an alligator down the street in Texas or something like that. It's like,
I don't know.
I know.
Who knows these days? But seriously, I think the problem is with this is that the federal judges, they're all really old people. And no offense to old people, but with newer technology, you need younger people that actually can figure it out. Like, we need someone that can understand the inner workings of the internet and computers and modern technology. That's why I'm willing to take Anthony Scalia's place, because he's the worst of them all. He has the dumbest quotes, and I will even do his job for only $8 an hour. So,
well, you make an interesting point. The big problem with our United States government is that, unfortunately, more often than not, the reason when you have a lawmaker, why you have maybe a federal judge who's trying to push these weird laws, who's trying to make these kind of rulings, is because they've got a corporation in their ear like this. Hey, guess what? If you help me with this, I'll help fund your next campaign. I'll support your non-for-profit. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And I don't know how we have a government where we allow this, how we allow lobbying, how we allow this. It's blatant, just crime. It's being crooked.
no, it is.
It's being dishonest.
It's obvious corruption. Here's the funny part about corruption. Say one of those guys, he goes to a bunch of people, attempt to get reelected, doesn't get reelected for whatever reason, despite all the 10,000 corporate backers. Do you think they're going to care about him once he's out of office?
No,
Nobody will care when someone's out of office. They're just going to hop from person to person to person to person. It's all a big game of Frogger.
All right, well, I appreciate you calling in, honey. I'm going to let you go. Probably get one more caller in here tonight.
Okay, you have fun.
All right, thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, we got all kinds of callers here tonight. Maybe my mom will call in next. All right, last run. I'm gonna take one more call tonight, everyone. I appreciate everyone who's trying to call in. I know there's a ton of you trying to get in, and I apologize for that. I can't get you all, but I'm gonna try to get one more person in here tonight. Here we go, and it's the first person that popped up right in front of me. Here it is. Hello.
This show fucking sucks. Like, I'm glad to ruin your day, cocksucker.
Excellent. No, hold on. Let's get this guy on. Hold on. That's fine. Here you go. Here he is. Here he is. Here's a guy who took his time out. He's actually been trying to call in the whole show, by the way. So he's actually been sitting at his computer, wasting his time to try to do a lame attempt at pranking. So...
God, I'm talking this kind of shit. Don't be
This is good. That was a good call. Oh, he hung up. Oh, see, I had a question for him. Oh, come on, man. I had a question. I was going to ask him how many dicks he could fit in his mouth at once, because obviously he's had a lot of practice, and I wanted to see how he's been doing on that project. But anyway, all right, so we got that. That was good. We'll take one more caller since that one wasn't a serious one. Let's see here. Let's do... So many names popping up right now. It's absolutely out of control. I can't... What is that name? Can't really read it. All right, let's try this one. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, is anyone there?
Hey. Hello.
Hello, who is this? Who am I speaking with?
I am Alex.
Hello, Alex. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome.
Any particular thing you'd like to talk about tonight?
Well, I want to just say that you're doing a great job doing your past week doing here. I love your content and I love Happy Rain. I was Happy Rain ever since. I like your content.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that.
You're really welcome. I really like Happy Rain. Like, I am your biggest fan, and you're doing a really good job.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or anything in particular tonight that you'd like to talk about?
What games are you most anticipating for this year?
That's a great question. And the thing is, it's a tough question to answer because since this year is a unique year where we've got the new consoles that were just released, and it's kind of a transitional year where a lot of these game developers are going to be making games for the new consoles, and therefore we really don't know what to expect. We don't know what's going to be coming out. We don't know a lot of the times what the release dates are. But out of the games that I've seen that I guess are going to concretely come out this year, I would say that Watch Dogs, number one, that was one of the ones I was really looking forward to last year, and I was really disappointed that it got delayed. So Watch Dogs is definitely up there on the list for me. I know a lot of people will probably give me shit for this, but I'm going to be honest. Dark Souls 2, I'm actually looking forward to because it's going to be a different situation where I get to play the game live on stream and people interacting with me, even though a lot of people won't know what's coming. I think it's going to be hilarious seeing me die to some of the ridiculous stuff in the game, playing it live on stream. I'm actually really looking forward to that one. Outside of that, there's some other good one. Titanfall. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the Xbox One with FPS games in this game, Titanfall, and will it really be the next-gen FPS game like a lot of people are touting it to be, or is it going to be more just like a game that they really hyped up and it doesn't live up to its expectations? You got Destiny, the next game from Bungie, which if it lives up to its potential, I actually just read an article in Game Informer all about it. If it lives up to its potential of what they're saying it could do, it could be amazing. But I guess, again, it's such an uncertain time with these new consoles to know if the things that people are developing for them are going to live up to the hype, or is it going to be just kind of like, it kind of is like last gen, only with slightly better graphics. So that's just a few of them off the top of my head. I know there's a lot more that's going to be coming out this year, but it's hard to pinpoint and say this is what I want to I'm looking forward to, because when I did my update, I'm actually looking at my calendar right now, my gaming schedule calendar. Almost nothing had dates, nothing had solid release dates to know what's coming out. So I try not to hype myself up too much until I know exactly what's coming out and when it's coming out. But I am looking forward this year mostly to next gen titles, and let's see if this next generation of consoles live up to the hype that they've had for this past, year or so.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to seeing all the new games on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Me too. All right. Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm so excited for the new game, Infamous Second Son.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention that one. Absolutely, that one looks great. It absolutely looks like it's going to be really good. So. All right, well, Alex, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Appreciate that. You made it to the inaugural non-beta show of Hate Live, and yeah, like I said, I will be taking callers in the future. So feel free in the future when I am taking callers to give us a call back. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
Good night. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the bag. Our very first Skype segment. And we did it without dying. We only had one troll, and I managed to get the best of him because he idiotically hung up the phone before he actually heard what I was going to say to him. All right, so I thought that was good. All right, so what we're going to do now, the Skype segment is officially over, so I would ask anyone who's still continuously calling me here to not bother, because I just closed my Skype, and therefore I won't even see it. All right, I'm going to take a short break. Then we're going to come back, and for about 15 minutes, we're going to pull stream Q&A questions, and that's going to be it for this episode, all right? So thanks, everyone. I'll be right back in a few short minutes for the stream Q&A. Don't go anywhere.